And it goes a little something like
Hi guys, good morning. We are 4 weeks out from ICN and 2 weeks out from ANB, which as of yesterday I've decided I'm going to compete in. Since a bunch of other shows have been cancelled, so I couldn't do IFBB, I can no longer go and fly over to Queensland and do national ICN, so I have decided to compete in ANB in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks before my ICN state show. The reason is, with ICN, I'm going to only be able to go on stage one time, and that's because I can only enter the open category because I won the category last time. I'm no longer a novice for ICN, I can only enter open. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's not a lot of time to kind of do my routine or get a lot of photos. So I kind of made the decision this week of doing A and B, just because then I get more stage time, I get more practice in front of judges, I can improve my posing and confidence on stage from just having that extra experience. And it's a good like little warm-up show as well to kind of, I don't know, keep the fire going, if that makes sense, and it will make the next 2 weeks just like fly by. So forgive my makeup free face. It is currently Saturday morning and I'm doing my morning ritual of meal prepping all my food for the week. So I just went to the supermarket and I'll show you guys what I got, and I'm going to show you guys what meals I've been eating recently to stay on track with all of my macro goals. So this is everything I picked up from the supermarket this morning. I'll run you all through it and I'll show you guys how I use all of these things. So we're going to use some leafy mix and spinach. That is for my carbonara chicken. I've got some pumpkin, butternut pumpkin and zucchini, and I've swapped my asparagus to bok choy or pak choy because I just want to see how this affects my digestion, because I feel like the asparagus is kind of playing up with my stomach a little bit, so I'm going to try this instead. Brown onion, because obviously you need this for flavor. Latina fresh pasta sauce. This is the carbonara. This is my addiction at the moment. I have been having this on top of chicken for the last like 5 or 6 weeks, like in a row, and I'm still not sick of it. So obviously high calorie, but if you spread it out over a lot of meals, it's fine. We've got some chicken that I'm going to just roast in the oven. My konjac rice. You guys know I'm addicted to this stuff. I put it in everything because it just helps fill out meals and bulk them out. I've also got my secret ingredient for making creamy pasta sauce, which is this Woolworths light ricotta. It is such low calories, like 25 calories for 25 grams. Which is like mind-blowing. So I'm gonna use this as my pasta sauce for this edamame fettuccine. This brings me back to my last prep in 2019. I would eat this every single day, so I've gone back to it because it's such a high protein filling meal, and I've been craving like kind of creamy pastas and just like creamy sauces in general, so this is my go-to at the moment. To flavor said ricotta, I've been buying this continental French onion soup mix, which is salt reduced. So this just gives it a little bit more flavor. I've also tried it with the carbonara kind of sauce packets. That works pretty well. I really like the flavor of this one instead right now. Jelly light go to. Now, we've got some treats. The reason is I've been making protein cookie dough, which I just have to show you guys the recipe. And I was looking at all of the most low calorie chocolate options. So this one here is 1,730 kilojoules per 100 grams or 413 calories per 100 grams. So that is the lowest calorie version. But then when you actually put this in a recipe, it's not that big of a difference if I went for the full fat, amazing, delicious Reese's version. Like it's only a couple calories difference, honestly. So I got this one to put in my cookie dough because hell yes, I love Reese's. And then lastly, we've got some quick oats. I also have some cream of rice in the pantry already, so this is just my stock up for this week. So let me show you guys what I'm gonna make this week for my meal prep. So first thing I'm gonna do is just season all of my chicken, and I'm just gonna cook this in bulk and weigh it after it's been cooked, just because I find it easier that way. I believe the secret to moist chicken is to put baking paper under it and then cover it with alfoil and then stick it in the oven. So, because they're really big pieces, I reckon like 40-ish minutes. So I've just diced up my zucchini and my pumpkin. This is such a sad amount of pumpkin. I'm actually depressed. And I've just seasoned it with some of the shaker salt, as well as I'm going to pop this on top. I love this brand of seasonings. Their cheese is amazing, and the veggie dust is really tasty as well. And I also use their ranch one. They're just so good. So next we're doing the onion. The trick to making sure that you don't cry is to have some kind of damp paper towel or a wet sponge right next to where you're chopping the onion. The reason is all those little spores go into whatever the closest moist surface is. So instead of being in your eyes, it's got a sponge to go onto instead. So it stops you from crying. If you've ever seen me cook before, you know how much I love my alligator. It's just the best invention. Next, I've just really loosely chopped up this pak choy, and I'm gonna stick it in the microwave. Maybe like 5 minutes. I also have my onions kind of boiling. They will soften, and some boiling water for my pasta to go in. Pasta is boiling. I usually boil it for like double the amount of time, like 10 or so minutes. The packet says 5, but I like it to be a bit softer. So I usually just go until I taste it and it tastes nice and soft. Pasta is now cooked. So what I'm gonna do is put the empty pot on my scale, zero it out, so that it is on 0 grams. Pop the pasta back in. And then I'm gonna add 300 grams of the light ricotta. Beautiful. And then 1 packet of this French onion soup mix. Stir that through, and now the scale says 1,250 grams, so I divide that in my calculator. 1,250 grams divided by 6, because I'm doing 6 meals, and each meal should be 208 grams each. That's how I measure my meals. To my onions, I'm just adding handfuls of spinach and letting them wilt, because you should all know spinach just disappears. Now that the spinach is all cooked, I'm gonna add 350 grams of the carbonara sauce. It's so creamy. Now I'm literally just going to sit here and weigh out these portions into 6 portions for the week. And now I'm gonna start portioning out my lunches. So I've got my veggies, and I'm just gonna put equal amounts in each of them. Next, I've just cut up all my chicken, so I'm gonna pop that into all of my meals as well in equal amounts. Chicken is all done, and there was a little bit left over, so I'm gonna give this to Guy for him to eat. And finally, my pumpkin's cooked, so I'm gonna add my pumpkin to my lunches and the sauce. I usually just take a measuring cup and kind of just scoop it out and plop it on top like that. So I've just mixed them up so they don't look as cute anymore, but this is going to be my lunches and dinners for this week. And what I've been using this baby salad mix for is sometimes I just need a little bit more volume. So I'll actually put a big handful of salad mix with the warm veggies and chicken, and kind of had like a chicken salad, and then the creamy carbonara acts almost like a dressing. So it actually ends up being a really, really nice salad as well. So that's just when I need to volumize my food a little bit, or I'm feeling a little bit extra hungry that day. But that is how I'm prepping my meals at the moment. The next thing that I'm prepping is my cookie dough high protein snack that I've been having for the last few days, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So I posted a video on TikTok as well with the recipe, but I will show you guys here how I make my cookie dough. These are the ingredients you're gonna need. Some powdered oats. These ones are from My Protein, or you could just blend up regular quick oats. I've got this protein mousse. On its own, honestly, I don't really love the flavor, but it is caramel cookie butter flavor, which is supposedly meant to be like Biscoff. And when you put it in these cookies, it really does taste like cookies versus just a normal vanilla protein. So I highly recommend this only really for this recipe, not by itself. I've got some skinny syrup here. This is the peanut butter cup flavor. Caramel would work just as well. PB2, look at this bottle. Like, what happened to it? Anyway, PB2 because it's a high protein, low fat version of peanut butter. I'm going to be using some Reese's as my chocolate chips. Normal chocolate chips would work, sugar-free chocolate chips, whatever you got, but I'm treating myself to some Reese's because they are my addiction. And then finally, a little bit of unsweetened almond breeze. Now, I am gonna actually make 6 portions of this, but I'll give you guys the recipe for just a single serving. We're gonna start with 30 grams of protein, 25 grams of the powdered oats, 10 grams of PB2, 1 tablespoon of skinny syrup, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons of almond breeze. I usually just start with 1 and see if I can make the mixture come together, and if not, I'll add a second one. Okay. Gonna add 1 more tablespoon, and then it will slowly start to form a cookie dough texture. So you just gotta keep working it for a bit. You can add water as well if it does need that little bit more liquid and you don't want to add any more calories. And there it goes. So once it is this nice kind of sticky, crumbly cookie dough texture, I'm going to add in my Reese's Pieces. So I'm going to do 15 grams. And because I like it to be spread out more, I'm actually going to chop these up a little bit, just so that way I get more little chunks in my cookie dough. And then you can literally just take it and just like smush it over the chips and start to fold them in. And that is it, your protein cookie dough. It is so delicious. So then you have this amazing protein cookie dough, which can totally fit into my macros, which is amazing. But also it tastes legitimately like cookie dough. I cannot stop eating it. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, and the Reese's are so yummy. I have been having this as my afternoon snack every day, and I cannot get enough of it. It's so yummy. What I'm going to do now is just pop this into the fridge so that it solidifies a little bit more. It won't be quite as squishy. It will be a little bit more solid, just like cookie dough. I'm also going to now repeat that recipe and times it by 6, so that way I have 6 cookie dough balls, 1 for today and 6 for the rest of the week. And now I just have to resist the temptation of eating all of this.